Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the third part of sketches in using Fusion 360. Um, you should have noticed that this takes a lot of practice. The more practice you get, the way you try to tackle the different challenges and the different sketches that you want to do. Looks like when you start drawing, you don't know where to start, but the more practice you get, you see where you can add some features. Okay, in this case, we are going to work with a new sketch, and this new sketch I will teach you about. We're going to talk about constraints. Fusion 360 uses constraints because you can always make a really easy rough draft of your drawing and then put some parameters so it works after you have an idea of the sketch. And that's what a sketch is all about. So I'm going to use the top view. I'm going to start on the top view like we always do. I'm going to create a sketch, and we're going to design this small plate over here. As you can see, we have in this plate, you want to start like understanding where would be the center point or what you want to start. In this case, I have a circle, which is the center point of the whole figure. Okay, so I'm going to start with that, and it says that it's a diameter of 8.4. You start with a diameter of 8.4. Okay, so here we go. We start with a diameter of 8.4, and I'm going to start drawing the different lines that kind of look like this part. I'm going to make a construction line just so I can see which one is my vertex, my axis. Okay, so I'm going to make a construction line. It doesn't matter the size of that construction line. I just want to make sure it's ready. After I have the construction line, I am going to start creating these lines. Okay, then the height and the width will be placed later on. We can add those constraints later on. So I'm going to start creating a very simple sketch without construction. I'll start right over here. Okay, and I'm going to go right over here and then go up. Okay, so pretty much that's what I need for now. Okay, after that, let's create some fillets right on these corners so you can add them with this measurement. So it says that it's a radius of 2 and it's 2 of them, so 1 and 2 on each side. So I'm going to start with this side only, and I'm going to create a fillet for this, which is, it says 8 millimeters. I'm going to make it 2. Okay, now I have this radius, so I make this a constraint so it's not going to change. And then I need, after I create this part, I can also add this fillet, which is a radius of 8. Okay, okay, so we created a construction line right over here. I'm going to create a construction line right in the middle. Okay, this is going to help me activate some other things that I need. I'm going to go and work on this side. I'm going to make this arc. Okay, this part, let's make this little gap here. So we need an arc, but in order to make an arc, I'm going to make a construction lines that allow me to do this easier. Okay, I'm going to make like a triangle that it's going to let me do this. I'm going to create a construction line that goes right to the middle, perpendicular. Then I'm going to make another one. Doesn't matter the size. I will change it later. And then I'm going to say that the first constraint is that these two are equal. Okay, that's the first constraint. That's why you see these two over here. Then the second constraint, as I can see, is that all this is 6, so half of it is going to be 3. So if these two are equal and this one is 3, then the other one has to be 3. Okay, So I'm going to create a constriction here, and it gives me a 3 and a 3. Okay, then I can move this a little bit if I want to, okay, later on. Okay, so then I need these two radius, so I'm going to create an arc that starts here and finishes here. Okay, I'm going to make an arc, a center point arc, because I need this to be right over here. Okay, and I'm going to change this construction to a normal curve. Okay, then I'll set up the parameters. I'm going to say that this is going to be 10. Okay, so it takes it right over here, and then this is the radius from the center, 10, and then the other one is 11. Okay, so I'm going to make another radius, another arc, sorry, starts right over here, and look, it shows me which horizontal line I need to focus on. Okay, so I'm going to start over here, okay, and then go here. Remember that this is not a construction line. I can select it and then change it to a normal line, and then set up the sketch dimension of this one, and this one is 11. Okay, now what I need to do is just add these two lines so I can just connect them. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, we need to make a horizontal line right over here, and it doesn't look horizontal because the curve or the arc that I created wasn't with a specific measurement. But I need to create a line right over here that is not construction. Create a line, and then this line, make it horizontal. So I'm going to go and just click on horizontal. One of the constraints says horizontal and vertical, so I want this line to be horizontal. So look, it automatically puts it there. And the same with this one. I'm going to create another line that goes, and it's not horizontal, but I can make it horizontal. Okay, so I'm going to click here, horizontal, and then it automatically, because if there's a constraint here, it is impossible for this to move upward. So I have exactly the same distance. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use a tool called mirror, and I'm going to mirror all this side to the other side. But before that, I'm going to see if I need some more constraints. One of the constraints is that this middle, right, is about, wait, let me say, oh, this is an arc of 8. Okay, we're going to have to do that in a minute. Okay, at this point we have our design right over here, and if you notice, this center point is not aligned with the horizontal. If it is, well, it's better, even better, because what we're going to do is that we need this aligned with the horizontal line. So I'm just going to grab it, I'm just going to put it in my horizontal line. Okay, and since these two are equal, I'm also going to move this point a little bit down, just so you know, so it looks a little bit better, because we're going to make an arc right over here. Okay, our design says that this arc is 8. It's a radius of 8. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. I'm going to create an arc, center point arc, and I'm going to go and touch this line, and then make an arc. Again, it doesn't matter the size. Just make an arc. Okay, I'm going to do exactly the same over here. Just touch the line and make an arc. Okay, and now I'm going to set a dimension right over here. Sketch the dimension. I'm going to say that this is 8. Okay, and obviously I think this one will also be 8, so I can make sure that it's also 8. Okay, now I need another constraint. looks like this line has to be tangent. Well, it should be tangent because it's touching in one point, so it is tangent to this line. Okay, so another constraint is that this line can be tangent to this curve. So we click on tangent and make sure these two are tangent. So I can see the constraint there. This is tangent to this, okay, just in case. And then I'm going to trim a little this line. Trim is, I'm going to take away things that I don't need. So I'm going to click on trim, and take this out, and I'm going to take this one, okay. And the same is going to happen right over here. I'm going to take this one out, I'm going to take this part, okay. So as you can see, I have pretty much all this on one side. That's exactly what I need to mirror. Now I'm going to use the mirror option, create mirror. Okay, I'm going to select all the objects that I want to mirror, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, including the arc. Okay, I'm not going to mirror this, the circle. I'm going to mirror this, right, this little gap over here. And I'm going to select the mirror line, which is any vertical line that I find that goes through the x-axis. Okay, then I can just take this away. This is just the sketch dimension. Okay, so now I have my design. So you can see it right over here, and then you guys can add the circles on this portion, which is very simple. I'm just going to create a circle, and then these two circles have to be with a distance of 32. Okay, so basically what I need is make a new sketch from this point to this point and just make it 32. Okay, now that changed the whole thing with all these restrictions, okay, or constraints. I can create another one here, which is diameter of 2, okay, and another one over here, a diameter of 2, and we're good to go. Okay, here you have your sketch, and you use plenty of these constructions or constraints in case you need, if you have a problem and you don't want this to move because you made other changes. You can always use the fix and unfix. Fix is where you need some curves that stay the same or don't change the length or the position, and you just fix them, and it won't change. Everything else can change. So this is a very good exercise to learn how to use a bunch of constraints. There are others like symmetry or concentric, when you want things to be concentric and to be placed on the same center point. Parallel and perpendicular are always very important, and I hope you learned a lot from this video. Okay, if you want to, the exercise that you should develop for this class is the following. And here we have it. Here are all the dimensions. Remember, this is the center point. You can start from here, start with a circle, and then start creating everything you need. You have certain radius over here, okay, and you can always make these sketches. You see these sketches over here? You can make these construction lines, so it helps you maintain the distance. These 2 points are tangent, so you make a curve and then make this circle tangent to this line, okay, and completely vertical. You can also add that constraint. And from this, it's a radius of 5.7. You can also add an arc right over here, and then you can just take away these lines. Those are just like kind of tips for drawing this sketch. Good luck, and you're getting better and better.